Success lives in powerful bodies. And the powerful bodies are fueled by the best.
3og.shop.
Is that innate in you to question yourself and to play the underdog, or do you usually the confident one, get out there, get out of my way? What do you like?
I feel like I've got both sides for me.
Okay.
Incline, go have a raise. I did them the other day. My abs are still sore.
How does that
4
work?
days
How
ago.
does that, what's that exercise? Do I have to Google that one?
So Garhammer raises is pretty much like just like a leg raise, but what you're doing is like you're bringing your feet together and your legs are out. So this kind of comes back to how I was saying, you know, I've done a lot of work on myself and my environment, my beliefs, my actions, everything is aligned, and being able to do these things with the girls and for us all to dive deeper and being vulnerable with each other, it's just made us all so much closer and provided so much growth for us all.
She's a goddess, a woman who empowers and portrays strength. At times, I see her dressed up in bikinis that reminds me of Wonder Woman and the cape you hold on to. She's primal, she's a competitor, she's soft, deep down, I believe, but fierce, I believe, when needing to be. She's woman's lifestyle, prep coach, sports nutritionist, and WBFF Fitness Pro. Please help me welcome Jess Bennic. How are you? How's that intro?
Great. That was awesome. You made me sound really good.
I know. God, it's supposed to do an intro for me one day, you know, like I should. How are you anyway? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Very good. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, just I think like everything when you're in business or working for yourself, you just seem to wake up questioning yourself every morning. And I think I'm lately questioning myself too much. And you know what that reminds me of? I've got it here as one of my questions to you, but I haven't done my rituals and habits. I have a thing where every morning I do rituals and habits. And what I do is I get on the ground and I go through my gratefuls for the last 24 hours. So you might be, by the way. So I do my gratefuls for 24 hours. And I always mention about clothing, shelter, and food. And then I will mention, thanks for letting me talk to Jess, and bits and pieces. Then I don't really ask for much. I don't really ask. I usually say, I can't do it. You better show me, like the universe. I do a bit of visualization about energy. And then I read my affirmations. I've got my own written affirmations. And then I go through my vision board. So what I tell people is I don't want to think and I don't want to know. I just daydream. So everything's written down. My diaries. So my diary tells me what I need to do. And my vision board tells me where I'm going or what I want. Do you have rituals and habits in?
Yeah, so every morning I generally wake up and do breath work. That's something that it's like pretty religious for me. Gym, breath work. I'll go for sometimes a morning swim. At the moment, I've kind of backed off on that. So
It's like the cold showers. It's like the cold showers everyone talks about. Like winter, I can't do cold showers.
Yeah, well, I live literally, it's like 2 minutes down from the beach. So I try and get down and walk down, go for a quick swim and then come back home. But I've kind of fallen out of that routine lately just because of the cold. And I think because I did get sick. So I was like, and because I'm in comp prep now, I'm like, I can't really afford to have a little, you know, cough and feel unwell. So.
Yeah, God, I'm loving the meeting people like you that are competing and food prep. And I used to be alone in all that, but all you guys are doing it. So it seems like I'm looking around going, and I can't do the food prep no more. I can't do it anymore. I was there once. I could do it. I think I can do it. So I keep mentioning I'm trying to lose 20 kilos and get back to my prime. But anyway, my first question to 20 kilos I've got to lose. True, I know. I mean, I am usually 83 kilos. I'm currently 104. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
As if you think I'm good looking now, you should see when I look like at 83. That's another story. Okay, let's start with the first question. Explain me versus me always. That was a post you did 2 days ago. And you're looking quite fit in that photo too, by the way. So go ahead. What was that mean? What was that quote about? Me versus me.
So one thing that I have been, I guess, struggling with over the last couple of weeks is knowing that, I guess, this time around when I'm stepping on stage, I'm no longer a big fish in a small pond. I'm a small fish in a big pond. So something that now, like, becoming, obviously I'm going to be stepping on a pro stage. I've found that I'm looking at myself and second guessing, like, am I, you know, going to, because I journal a lot and I have a goal in place to obviously know what I want to accomplish when I step on the pro stage. And that self-doubt always tends to, you know, sink in when you might be training or waking up in the morning expecting, you know, a certain result, and you're looking at yourself and you didn't get that result. So when I spoke to my coach about it, because some of the girls that are stepping on the stage, one of the world champions is stepping on the stage against me. So, and it's going to be amazing. Like, I'm so excited for it because it's, as I said, like, I am starting from the bottom again, and that's what I want. That's a challenge for me. But it's very easy to, you know, start to think like, you know, am I going to look out of place? Am I? So, yeah, talking to my coach over the last couple of weeks, I guess with mindset, he said to me, like, you've always just got to be your best. And it's so true. Like, it's me versus me. And I've always had that mentality. But as I said, now that I am going up against, you know, the big dogs, it's like, for somebody that's been doing it for, you know, some of these women have been doing it for years and years, you know, a lot longer than me.
How long have you been doing it for? How long have you been doing it?
So I've done it for 8 years.
8 years.
So, yeah, whereas some of these ladies have done like 30 competitions, or, you know, they might be 10 years older than me. And so, you know, it's exciting, but that's where that caption came from, because I see a lot of my clients struggle with that as well. It's like they go on social media and they're comparing themselves to all these other people, and it might be genetics. They're seeing, you know, younger girls that have amazing genetics, and that can kind of get them in a mindset of like, why aren't I at that point yet? Why, you know, why isn't my progress as fast as there? And there's so many different variables that can come into it.
Is that innate in you to question yourself and to play the underdog? Is that your favorite playing field, or do you usually the confident one, get out there, get out of my way? What do you like?
I feel like I've got both sides to me.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. No, I think I've got a question for that one there too, but that'll come later. Let's not get all my questions out. So you got a bit of both, do you?
Yeah, so I think, like, to be honest, since last year, definitely have done like a lot of work on my mindset and I guess who I am as a person. And I think, like, when I initially was stepping on the stage last year, it was like a bit of a comeback for me. I hadn't competed for years, and I did have like I didn't go and say it to the world, but I believed in myself a lot. Like, there was, you know, I was getting this. I had no doubt in myself. There was no other option that I was getting my pro card. I journaled it every day. I was calling myself WBFF Fitness Pro, Jess Bennic. Like, I was going to sleep dreaming of it. Like, it's so real. Like, I mean, it was the dream kind of came to life. But I think this time around, it's a little bit different because, as much as I do believe in myself and I know I can achieve these things, it's definitely like you got to have that logic inside of you as well. You can't just be up in the airy fairies. It don't happen. Like, it took me 8 competitions to get my pro card, so it's not going to take me.
Oh, so you're tenacious. You're tenacious.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yes.
tell me, because I've heard the last 3 days this journaling thing. I don't understand journaling, and obviously you're telling me it's a bit like a comeback. What do you mean? What do you need to journal? What's the comeback for? Why did you step out for a little while? What does that all mean?
So journaling, I generally will, it's kind of like a self-reflection tool for me. I do that of a morning or a night time. So generally I'll be writing down, I guess, a lot of the times it'll be if there's anything on my mind and having a strategy around how I can improve on that. So it might be self-doubt, it might be, whatever it may be. So that's where the journaling, and then your gratitude, and you write down my goals, and sometimes it'll just be like affirmations. So, what I'm going to achieve. In regards to when I said the comeback, I hadn't competed for 3 years. So my last showing was in London in 2019, and that was in the WBFF. I took a client over there with me, and she placed 3rd over me. She beat me, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, how did that make you feel?
Oh, so over the moon for her. So
of course you were. I can't see why you wouldn't be. But how did it make, like, you're a competitor. I can see that. It's okay. We don't compete just to win. We compete to take on people and face the outcome.
Yeah.
I'm a sore loser. I am literally a sore loser. But I'm okay with that because I want to feel shit after anything. So it's okay. It's not, I come back after it, but to tell me I'm happy if I lost, I'm not. I'm not happy at all.
I was like, I guess, more upset with myself because my physique wasn't responding the way I wanted it to. Okay. So the fact that, I guess, my perspective on it was like, I was disheartened, but then I also changed my perspective pretty much within that day, because I was like, fuck, sorry, I don't know if I can swear on here, but
yeah, I'll fucking swear. No, I can swear, you can't, all right? Let's make it clear. I swear you don't, but go ahead, fucking tell us. It's all right. We can edit everything. We can edit. If you start telling me off, we'll edit that part. But go.
Yeah. So business-wise, it was really good. So I had a lot of people that were, coming on board after, she did really well. So that was my, obviously, last time I'd stepped on stage other than last year. So for me to come back into the bodybuilding scene, I took a bit of time off. I kind of lost myself in that time, I guess. And then the week I started to bring, I was like, what I built in that time. And then starting to go into my fat loss phase, I was like, fuck yes, I can do this. Like, I'm going to be a pro. So yeah, I guess that's where the comeback and the journaling and I guess the work that I've been doing on myself, it comes from more internal now rather than, trying to seek that validation or trying to just do it because I want that medal in such.
Okay.
Like, it was for me.
Why London? Why the way there? I don't know much about the comp. If I said to you the last comp, besides the IFBB Sydney show, I was going to compete 4 years ago, and I blew myself out. I just blew myself out, man. I became ripped when I didn't eat. I was completely ripped apart after losing my appetite for a week. And it was incredible.
Hey guys, Steve here from 3OG. I just want to say thank you. The response in relation to the pre-orders, the launch of our own protein powder called 3OG, or you may call it 30 grams. It's been amazing. We're 2 weeks in and the orders are running hot. Like I said, get 1, 20% off. Get 2 and you get 30% off. We've also got our pre-workout, pre-3OG. Please, 2 weeks to go for the sale and the special. We look forward to delivering to you soon.
Yeah, so why London? Why in London?
So I went to London because I think I was told by my posing coach that he's one of the biggest, posing coaches within WBFF. He's quite well known. He's also a photographer. He actually said to me that London's a really good show, and a lot of back then, it was like from 2015 to like 2019, 18, a lot of it was a lot harder to get a pro card in Australia.
Okay.
Where now it's like they give them out a lot more frequently since COVID.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my, my game plan pretty much was to go to London and hopefully get a pro card.
Okay. What does a pro card
And have a
mean to
holiday.
you? But what does a pro card mean to you? Like, are you, what is it like? There's so many different pro cards, different comps, what it takes you to Olympia. What's the pro card mean to you?
To me, it's an accomplishment because I think I have always been somebody that if I was going to, I guess, set a goal out and achieve something, I wanted to fight for it no matter what. So ever since I first stepped on stage in 2015, I've always wanted to be like Hattie Boyle. So WBFF, world champion, fitness competitor. She was just like my idol.
Wow.
And that was my goal, was like, I want to be like her. I want to have a pro card. I want to be, a WBFF fitness champion. So to me, the pro card, I think that's something that like I don't, and I think I went through a bit of like imposter syndrome when I did get it, because people would go, "Oh my God, you're Jess Bennic, WBFF Pro." Like, and it was just like when I kind of came and back to Newcastle and I was, going and seeing some of the girls at the gym, and, people would come up to me and like congratulate me. And I felt like, oh, I didn't feel like that was me. And it made me realize it was just that next level that, yes, I am a pro, but I'm still Jess. Like, I'm still me. I don't have to live up to this certain standard, I guess, what I thought it was going to be like being a pro athlete. Like, it's weird because you see so many younger girls, like they think that it's going to change their life. And I think that's what I thought.
Yeah, of course.
Be like, snap of the fingers and I'm a pro fitness model. Everyone, bow down.
Yeah, yeah. But I guess as well, maybe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you didn't feel like we all, I feel like an imposter sometimes. I don't even feel like I'm a businessman. Sometimes I talk to business people and I go, "Oh, he's a businessman." Then I go, "Hang on, but I'm a businessman too." So maybe you just weren't going to allow yourself to elevate yourself to that belief as well. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah. And that's like that belief system, which I think I worked on a lot in regards to creating an environment and a belief system to then, reflect my actions and, what I was doing to get that pro card. And then when I actually got it, it was an overwhelming feeling, I think. And then actually hearing it, it took me time to adjust and to know that, just because, that I've achieved that goal. I think it's like that. I heard something that it was, we don't celebrate these things. Like when we're upset or something bad happens, we'll mourn and cry and be upset for months. But when you actually achieve something, you don't celebrate it it's like you celebrate it for a day and that's it. And I think that's what I did. I didn't actually let it sink in and appreciate, what I've actually just achieved over the last, since 2015. Like, so I was like, all right, on to the next, and what am I looking at next? What am I achieving next? So,
yeah, just to, kind of pivot on that one. I've looked at boxes, right? And I remember saying, I've seen a psychologist in my past, which is like a personal trainer for your brain. And I said to her, how the fuck does a boxer know or feel that he's going to win the fight when there's chances that he may not? So he's gone in and all he's saying, I'm going to knock this guy out. I'm going to win, third round, knockout. I'm here, I'm there. Imagine if you went to the WBFF and said, I'm going to come first. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to win. And everyone's going to say, God, Jess really is up herself, man. But with boxers, we don't. We go like, oh, it's believable. And I said to her, how do they do that? Are they convinced and no one stops them? And she said, when they lapse, their team brings them up. See, we don't understand what a team means. And really, when you lapse, your team's the one that steps in and go, no, you're the champ. And you go, oh, I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I don't think I'm the champ. You're the champ. I'm the champ. I'm the champ. And I think you just got to have the right team around you and to know that you're supposed to be on a high. Let's keep this high going. But you're supposed to be sad. Let's be sad. You're supposed to be angry. Let's be angry. Instead of like, you'll get over it. Don't be too happy for too long. Yeah, there's a doubt. Like, fuck all that. Like, let's just go with what's now. And even when the boxer loses, the boxer's pretty humble by saying, look, you know what? I didn't do enough. He was the better man. So I'll come back, though. So anyway, I think in life we should all take on a boxer's mentality because it's the only sport, it's the only sport where they're not fucking humble. Everyone's humble.
So true.
I'm not the best soccer player in the world. I'm Messi, but I don't think I'm the best soccer player in the world. But the boxers are like, I'm the fucking champ. I'm fucking the one. So I think if you want me to, all right, I'm going to give you a tip. I want you to go in like a boxer at this comp. Okay, you got my permission. You're a boxer. All right. When they interview, you say, I'm a winner. I'm going to win because you're down in your emotions. I'm the best. They go, like, what the fuck, Jess? That's what the journal says. I'm the best. I'm the best. Steve said I'm the best. All right, are you okay with that? Are we cool with that? So so I'm sure me and Chris are going to be at the comp. So when I look at you, you're going to go, best. I know you're the best. Yeah. I could talk to many girls before then, and they could all be looking at me. Yeah, I'll be holding up the sign. I'll have many signs. Jess is on. Oh, so-and-so's on. Depends who I talk to up until then. Okay, so you were at the WBF Comp 2023 back in Sydney a few weeks back. You didn't compete to that one. You competed in the 2022. Is that right? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bring that up. But I want to know, what is it about, firstly, the glitz and the glamour of it? Like, it's so different to, like, me and Chris, we were supposed to come to it, but we just didn't. And we tried to score a free ticket. We didn't get one, but that's another story. But, and you know, get us there, we'll videotape some stuff. But we just didn't know about, we're learning a lot about the comps because, yeah, it's amazing. But this thing, I said to Chris, I think we're missing out. Looks like a party, man. So what's going on there? What's glitz and glamour?
So because it's World Fashion Fitness Beauty, that's what WBFF stands for. Yeah. They do a red carpet event the night before, which is called the registration night. So you are pretty much, there to dress to impress. It's all about like connecting and like the networking. So you're meeting other, you know, pro divas or you know, the men. You've obviously got the coaches that can come, family, friends, and then they run through the competitors meeting. So they go through what to expect on the day tomorrow and the next day. So it's really about to connect. That's what WBFF is about, is creating a family and friends. And, you know, it's a good time for you to actually meet the people that you've been connecting with on social media, or, you know, even just people that are going to be there the next day. So because backstage, they don't actually allow coaches or, you know, anyone to go backstage. So it's just the competitors. So therefore, again, it's like you've seen the familiar faces, not like you're just going backstage on show day going, oh my God, what do I do? Who do I see? Like, so yeah. And then I guess the dressing up, that's just another added extra part that you get to enjoy and take photos and post them on the gram.
Dude, I know, but you know what? Like, I guess when I've been I've been predominantly to the IFBB, but I'm looking forward to going to all of them. I want to go and see everything, right? but no one seems to be smiling. I get it. They're depleted. They're dieting. They're focused. How do you smile before a comp, like, and be ready for all that? Because obviously everything is a different physique, a different style. Like,
Yeah.
you don't come in for a certain event or a certain comp too ripped. You want to come. I'm assuming they're wanting it to be, even with guys, but womanly, more like, I don't know. I'm not saying what I'm
Yeah.
getting. I guess the shape and the proportions and the symmetry is very important to them. But I just saw everyone smiling. I'm thinking, everyone doesn't look like, aren't they depleted enough?
Yeah, I feel like you're definitely on the right track there, because I feel like IFBB, you definitely diet a lot harder
Mm,
than WBFF. And don't get me wrong, like fitness and figure in WBFF, sorry, you're still dieting really hard, and you still have
yeah,
to get
that's
to a
right.
really conditioned shape, and which is very similar, I guess, to the condition requirements for bikini and like your wellness girls in
Mm,
IFBB,
mm, mm.
though it's only like I think it's from 6 to 7, and then you can rock up at 5 o'clock. But look, you get up, go, you get ready, go, quickly do the athlete meeting, jet home, eat, straight to bed, because you generally a lot of people have to wake up the next day at like 4 or 3:30, 3 a.m. because their TN start at 4. So they definitely don't like to keep the competitors too early.
No, I love it. I
Too
love it.
late, sorry.
Like I said, I was just surprised by the smiling faces, the photos, just everybody, and I felt like um, I wanted to be there, and I didn't know, and I think it was going to be the last minute to tell Chris, get in the fucking car, let's go down and check this place out. But it looked like a lot of fun. I just got to check my questions here. I think I'm going to bring up 2022 in a second, but let me tell us. Um, have you competed in any other comps besides the WBFF?
Yeah, so I originally did INBA, which was before INBA split to ICN.
Hmm.
So that was in 2015. Um, I did a few shows with ICN, then I did the Arnold qualifier
Wow.
in Sydney. So, and then I did the Arnold's, and then after that, I transferred into WBFF, and I did 3 shows. Well, I've done 3 shows with WBFF so far.
Wow. Okay. So I'm still trying to understand all those abbreviations. I can't even get what training course I did. AIF, FAI. I don't know. But
So ICN, if you don't know,
no,
that's
what's that?
more so ICN's a natural competition,
Hmm.
and it is ICN INBA back in the day. Not, I don't know if INBA is still around, but the ICN is probably one of your biggest federations for natural
Hmm.
competitors. So the standard's pretty high. Still, like some of the girls in those shows, you know, could go straight into IFBB, bikini, or even straight into WBFF. So because they are a little bit of a smaller show as well, I push a lot of my clients into either WBFF or ICN, because it does give you that little bit more of a everyone you're up against, they're natural. So that's one thing,
Yeah.
like I always say, like it's a nice thing for some girls to know that you're not up against you know those, especially your first time as well.
Well, firstly, is it just me, or like there's an influx of people wanting to get on stage, and everybody's got the gluteus maximus pose, and everyone's got the little leg up forward like that, and everyone's twisting it like that, and the waistline, and everybody's doing the double bicep pose, and I'm looking to
Feel like
see.
having a dig at me.
No, no, no. You
I'm
look. I've got a
joking. I'm
question.
joking.
No. I've got to dig. Don't worry. I've got to dig. It's one of the questions here. But the thing is, it's just incredible the confidence people are feeling. It's lovely to see. I'm an advocate of confidence. Like, I think, who gives a fuck? Just good on you. Like, I'm that kind of person. So Yeah, is it just, are you noticing a tsunami of people wanting to get on stage?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the
And why?
standard
Why?
of
Why do you think? Why? What's going on? It's just bodybuilding, man. Like, it's just, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, what's going on?
I feel like I hate to say it, but this world, like everyone follows everyone. So you see one person do it, you see their transformation, you see, how the amazing pictures after, and I guess you watch their journey and that people are like, and it's a good thing in a way because people are starting to believe in themselves more. They're like, I want to do that. I want to show myself that I can do that. I want to, commit to myself. I want to challenge myself. So I feel like more people are seeing, I guess, the average physique go to something where it's like, wow, that's really cool. I want to try that.
Mm, mm.
But yeah, as I said, I think it's a social media thing. Like, that more people are doing it, more people are seeing people doing it, so therefore more people are going, I want to do that. It's like when you get a brand new pair of shoes, you're like, yes, I'm the only one that's got these, and then you see everyone's got
I
them.
don't do that. I don't do that. The only thing I do is, at the moment, is motorcycles. Besides cars, really, but everyone's BMXs. I seem to be riding BMXs again and getting the BMX I bought when I was a kid, getting the expensive ones now.
Yeah.
But I think I want to tap onto something because I think it's only fair. And you've mentioned about telling the girls to go do the comp. That's natural. I'm not here to, I said I took steroids when I was 50. My kids know too. I mean, anybody, I never did before. But I know myself, the biggest eye opener when I did it, because I was hoping to compete, was that I still had to train fucking hard. I still had to diet hard. I had to do food prep. I had to go cardio. I was cycling my push bike to the gym like it was stepper. Like, all I know that the substances or the, whatever I was taking at the time, I was very naive. So I actually blew myself out because I just thought, I didn't understand the less is more mentality. I just more kind of thing. And obviously I saw the biggest eye opener was the amount of strength I got. Like, I went, wow, where is that strength coming from? And recovery was a bit quicker, and results were, I don't know, they were quicker, but I more saw that because of the strength. That's obviously made me look differently.
Get
And
stronger, yeah.
yeah, so tell me about that thing about natural and comps. And I mean, they don't have to go berserk, do they? The girls, because the guys as well, that no one has to go berserk. Actually, you don't even really need it, but in a sense, it's there,
Yeah.
isn't it? Really, it's there. There's things that the sport, it is what it is.
Yeah. I feel like
Like, what
the
advice
thing
do you
with
have? Like, talk about the advice, regardless about saying don't do it. We don't want that advice. It's bullshit advice. It's more like talk about it a bit with us, not you, but about it in general.
yeah, so I feel like people need to use it as like a performance enhancer, like to actually help to improve your performance. As you
Mm,
mentioned about the strength, like, and that's where that less is more mentality can come from, because
mm.
if you're going to be abusing it, it's like anything, you're gonna
Yeah,
get symptoms. You're gonna find that the you know it's gonna kick you up the ass. So if
I can
you can
kick my
actually
ass.
use it,
Yeah, kick my
yeah,
ass.
yeah, and if you
Crazy. Yeah.
if you can do it, I guess smart, and use it as for performance based.
But I
I
did it
definitely
also,
think it's
just to
got a
let you
lot of
know, I was doing it without a coach. I was training to compete without a coach. I didn't understand. I was thinking, I don't need a coach. I don't need nobody. I've, I Googled it. What? I've Googled it. So I've watched from far. I don't need a coach.
Google's always right too.
I Googled, improved my squat. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
My leg raises, my arm curls. But go on. It's only the Instagram, I guess. But go on.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think, I guess, it has its time and place, but as you said, like, if you don't have a coach, and someone that's actually qualified and knows, I guess, within the pharmaceuticals, and like does blood work, really checks over everything, because it can be so
Mm,
jeopardizing, especially for a woman. Like, you are
yeah.
literally dipping your toes into water you probably don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think a lot of women, especially younger women these days, don't actually get their full potential out of themselves. So if they're getting on a cycle, say, of Anavar, and they're 20, like, you know, they've got so many years that they can really get the most out of themselves and improve, you know, their mindset around training. And I think a lot of people take it from the approach of like, this is gonna, you need to learn how to train fucking hard. You need to learn how to diet hard. You need to learn how to do, you know, every little thing that comes with bodybuilding before you decide. And that's what, you know, I do have these conversations because I just feel like it's not, it's really just like a little minuscule that's going to help you improve.
Minuscule,
and
man. It's a minuscule.
Yeah.
Like even myself, even, I mean, I'm far from even thinking that I need a cycle for anything, because I haven't even, I can't even think about how to food prep at the moment, let alone get the cardio up. I'm getting there, but it just goes to show you what levels you need to get to first before anything, before you need lipstick, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Well, tell us about growing up. What did you want to be growing up, and when did you realize you wanted to be in the fitness industry and a coach?
So growing up, I actually wanted to be a paramedic.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I don't know why anyone wants to be a paramedic either, but then go ahead. It's like the fireys. All I see is fireys and paramedics at places where they can get a cheap coffee and sit there forever. But that's another story. Is anyone saving lives?
Just having a relaxed day. Yeah, so I did want to be a paramedic. I think that was mainly came from just hearing sirens and wanting to know where they're going and what they're doing. But very inquisitive. When I was younger, I used to be 30, like around, well, not 30 kilos. I was like going on 90 kilos. So I was quite overweight as like for my height and age. I guess I
How tall are you?
How
tall are you?
So I'm 158 centimeters.
What's that? What's that in foot?
I don't know, 5 foot something.
5 what?
5 foot something. I don't know. I don't go off feet.
Of course it is. All right, I'm the only one. But okay, so you said growing up something about parents. What would you say? 90 kilos?
Yeah, so I was around 90 kilos. I just had a very, I guess, mum, she was a single mum, couldn't really afford, you know, to feed us, you know, nutritious meals. And going into my teenage years, I think I just got to the point where I was in a popular, I guess you would call it the popular group. All my girlfriends were really thin and like got attention from guys, and I just like, I just looked at them like, you guys so gorgeous. Used to go to the beach and I would be the ones in like the board shorts and like, you know, tops. So as I started to, I guess, I think I was like 15 when I started to run every day. I'd come home, I got called tree trunks. I was walking across the oval, and I remember one of the guys that I used to thought he was so hot, and he yelled out, said tree trunks, because I've got massive, I've got big legs, like calves, and obviously with a bit of weight on me, although, you know, I was a bigger girl. So hearing that, I just remember my heart just sunk, and I was like, just don't look around, like don't look over, don't look over. You heard it. You don't need to look at them. Don't give them attention. I obviously finished the day at school, and I went home, and I remember just sitting there crying and just thinking like, fuck yous, like fuck yous all. And I just gained this bit of a I felt resentful of, you know, who I was, what my life was like. You know, I guess my mum was an alcoholic, so she didn't give a fuck, in a way, the best way to put it. So then the next day I woke up and I actually thought to myself that I'm going to start running. So I ran every day. lost 30 kilos. I downloaded my Fitness Power, started to educate myself on nutrition. So I was looking at, like, you know, I guess what's healthy, how do you lose weight, like all those, you know, things. And I guess I was just tracking calories at the time. I wasn't doing macros or anything like that. I was eating eggs, like blending up eggs, putting eggs and celery together and sculling in the morning, like just anything that I could find that was helping me to lose weight. And that's what got me into the fitness industry. I think it was like, I would have been around 18 by the time I was, 18, no, 17, because I finished my year 11 and 12 in TAFE early. And then I got into
What did you do? What did you do year 11 and 12 at TAFE?
Because I dropped out of school early, because I was in year 10, and then I moved to my dad's in Tamworth because mum being an alcoholic, I just felt like I didn't have the support and what I needed, being in that. So mental.
I love dogs. It's cool.
Yeah, they're the best. Yeah, just being in that environment. So I moved to my dad's just to kind of help me, because again, it was just like mental health was really lacking, and where I was at, you know, that time of my life, the year in 11 and 12, because I did drop out of school early, and then I got into my Cert 3 as soon as I finished that. And he had my back the whole way. I remember he didn't want me to be a personal trainer. He was like, you know, that's not a real job.
Your dad?
Yeah. And now he's like, he is so proud of me. And he, I remember when I sat down with my grandma, my grandpa, and my dad, and they were like, I told them that, you know, I want to do this course. And my grandpa, he's Croatian, he's like, bloody hell, Jessica, like, why don't you be a doctor? And then dad's like, yeah, that's like not a real career, Jess. Like, and they gave me that talk. I was like, can I just do it? Like, I just want to do the Cert 3 and 4 just to educate myself more. And then, you know, I'll work aside, like do other jobs, because I was working as a sushi trainer. I was like, I'll keep, you know, making sure that I'll obviously be earning money. And then it's like, he looks at me now and he just always says, I'm so fucking proud of you, because of I just never gave up. Like, I don't need a side hustle. I don't need anything behind. Like, I've got to, you know, where I've got my business and where I'm at the moment, it's like, obviously there's always areas to improve, but I'm fucking doing it from where I was. So it's good.
Well, yeah, just listening to your story, I felt pretty emotional listening to it. I'm really happy you soldiered through that. I mean, I've got a daughter too, so I think about my daughter, and you know, I just think, well done, you know, like, for doing what you did and soldiering through everything and the adversities, and, you know, even like I said, the going ons with your mum and still believing in her in some way. It is what it is. I'm sure all of that was hard, but yeah, I mean, I keep mentioning my daughter in all this because she's studying performing arts.
I love it.
She's in performing arts, and
nice.
yeah, and the thing is, firstly, you weren't a true wog. You're supposed to have 3 jobs. You're gonna have everything's got to be a side hustle. Talking about no wonder your grandparents didn't take you seriously, because you only had 1 job. You only go for 1 career. You're supposed to have 3 jobs, mate. So I remember telling my parents, I had 3 jobs once. I was in IT. I was a network engineer. I was working as a waiter, and I was doing security work. And then I said, I gave up the security work, and my parents said to me, why? I said, it's my 3rd job. Can I just have 1? I've got 2 though, but they didn't get it. So it was a great story. I'm so glad that you've done what you've done. I'm so glad that you've achieved what you've achieved. Tell me something, but through that story you just said about what that boy said to you, do you feel, I was thinking about that today myself the last few days, and I'm going to share it with you. I was a fat kid too in primary. Sometimes I still think I'm the fat kid. Do you ever feel like that sometimes? It's a shit feeling. It's a fucking
Yeah.
sad in a way,
Yeah.
but I can't shake it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see it a lot with a lot of my girls like that I coach, you know, that have, I guess, had that from their past, and even just people that, you know, you speak to, and as you, you know, you and I can definitely relate on that. I think I always call it, and I say it to my girls, like when you've got, I have this little gremlin in my head, and it's like that little Jess. So when I was younger, and I disassociated myself from that, I guess that negative self-talk when I might be going in a reverse diet and putting on more weight after a comp, or, you know, I might just be having a shit day, and I'm like, you know, that little girl pops up still, and I'll acknowledge it. I'll say thank you for, you know, saying what you need to say, but that's not me anymore. So
I'm listening to you now. I'm learning something from you. Yeah,
I call it my little gremlin. So
do you? Okay, but it's there, isn't it? I don't know. I also I don't know what it is. I keep mentioning showers, Chris, don't I? I keep mentioning the shower. If you ever watch the podcast, I seem to have an answer because of the shower. We're talking about TRT, and I said to Liam, yeah, I was thinking about TRT in the shower, and then Laurie, his girlfriend that was in the podcast, started laughing. I go, what's funny? She goes, who thinks of TRT in the shower? And I was like, well, it's kind of, I have a lot of showers, and I daydream about what I've just read or what I'm doing, you know? So,
you know
so the latest thing in my showers is the imposter syndrome. I seem to be feeling a bit like an imposter lately. I don't know why that is. And I'm not doing my rituals and habits in the morning at the moment. So I don't know what's going on there. Any tips?
Align yourself, ground yourself. Definitely. I feel like your rituals will definitely bring you back, because it always does for me.
Yeah, I've got to do them. Okay. Just checking my questions. I just don't want to miss anything. Oh, yeah, this one. Tell us about, you've got it on your thing, women's lifestyle prep coach. Both big responsibilities, I think. Like, you know, to tell someone you're going to help women and help them prep for a comp to win. Why do you take on those responsibilities? It's such a big ask. And let's start with lifestyle for women. Yeah, well, what's your lifestyle like? And is it resembles that, or do you sometimes feel like? Because sometimes I feel, and it's not with you, but sometimes I see people tell me what they tell me. I see something online and they're not like that in real life, and I think, why do you say you're a coach when you're not good with money, but you're trying to tell people to be good with money? Does that make sense?
100%. 100%. So this kind of comes back to how I was saying, you know, I've done a lot of work on myself, and my environment, my beliefs, my actions, everything is aligned. And when I'm unaligned, it's when I'm not, you know, my environment doesn't, you know, match with my belief system. Belief system's not matching with my values not matching with my actions. So I find that for me, I walk the talk, and that's what all my clients say, because like, I am human. I am definitely human, and I have balance. Like, I love to have a drink. I love to go out and, you know, be with the girls and have a meal, and, you know, but it's definitely something that, like, with the lifestyle, women's lifestyle, like, that's coming from more so, it's not, I don't just focus on comp prep. So, you know, the lifestyle part is more so, you know, I've got many girls and more girls that I coach that are not competing or don't wish to compete, that, you know, I dive deep into mindset in my business. So no, I'm not a mindset coach, but I guess from my own journey within, you know, self-development and who I am today, like, I definitely have found that the more strategies I give my clients, and the more I help within that, the more compliant they are within their own training and nutrition. And that's the same with me. And as I said, it's like identifying all these things, and once they identify it, it makes them go, oh, fuck, okay, that's how I'm going to, you know, actually, stick to my plan, because I have this belief system that I'm always going to be like this. So me telling me that I'm always going to be like this is going to make me action what I'm telling myself. So when we start to change those belief systems, when we change the environment, when we're working on these things, it's like, you've actually had a full week of compliance. Yay. And I find like that's where the lifestyle part comes into, because I don't ever want to be a mindset coach, but I feel like it is that lifestyle. It's about, who you're surrounding yourself with and how you're talking to yourself, and, what are you doing in your spare time? Are you, what do you enjoy? Like, if you don't enjoy training and resistance training, like, that's what I love, but I'm not going to make you do it if you don't enjoy it.
So you help a little bit outside of the gym?
Yeah, I've got clients that I guess I just do nutrition with. I've got clients that I just do training with, and then I've got majority of my clients that do nutrition and training. Their training can be of, multiple different things if they want to do. Mainly, a lot of them, and I do have, I do obviously attract a lot of girls that want to transform their physique and want to obviously change their body composition. So majority of them are resistance training. But I do have some that, do group training, and I, add in some recovery sessions and, add other components into it. But yeah, it just depends, I guess, when we do our consult call.
Okay, so that's part of the prep specialist as well. I think I've got the question here. Are you just a prep specialist for girls, or you're a prep specialist for guys too?
So I haven't prepped any guys. I have had many male clients. I would definitely say for women, I've worked with so many women, and that's where I'm comfortable.
Yeah, of course.
I think my approach as well, it's like, I am a very I'm a hard ass. I give tough love, but I'm also a very empathetic person. I feel like males need that, like, that little bit more hardcore vibe. And so I don't think, I've never really, I guess, attracted the male. And I think the way I talk to my audience on social media as well is mainly women based. When I was at PT, I used to have a lot of males, but yeah.
Okay,
I'll give him to my coach.
Okay. And okay, then why do you have a male coach? I guess I don't have that as a question, but why do you have a male coach?
So I have actually always had a male coach. I find, for me, this coach that I have now, I need someone that's not going to be like me, in a way. So, yeah, babe, you're doing really good. We need to work on this. Like, I need someone to
Oh
go,
my God,
Jess, pull
are
your
you
fucking head in.
serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? You got dud eyelashes. I can't believe it. With a guy might go, what the fuck are you talking about? Just do the squats, will you?
Yeah. So I am very, I guess, like, I've got a lot of like masculine energy. So I like to be told, I'm very, like, tunnel visioned, and in regards to having a coach, like, I need someone that is aligned with that. Obviously, the fun side of me comes out when I'm posing and doing, my photo shoots, and I've got, areas where, that does come out a lot, and with my coaching, that does come out a lot. But it's also something for me, like, I guess, with the way I want to be coached, it's like, don't sugarcoat it, just tell me how it fucking is and kick me a ass, because I'm not going to get to where I want to be if you don't. Because I'll think, oh no, it's fine, he said it's all good. I'm just gonna, take it easy this week.
It's like you don't want to hear someone say to you, look, go home and burn some incense and light that candle up and take a bubble bath. You don't need that. He's like, you better come back tomorrow. You better come back tomorrow ready, because I'm going to smash you tomorrow. Got it.
Yeah.
And tell me about sports nutritionist. Are you a sports nutritionist?
Yeah. So I had got, when did I get that? It's a couple of years ago now. sports nutritionist. It's only a short course.
Mm-hmm.
Many personal trainers, or I think it's only personal trainers. If you do want to get a nutrition course, you have to go through, like, I think it's a year study or something.
Okay.
If you don't have those certificates, but I'm registered with International Society of Sports Nutrition. So they are pretty much just I don't even know what you call it.
A licensing body.
Yeah. That
Okay.
I got it through. So because I'm studying health, science, nutrition, and exercise, that will get me obviously a degree.
You're studying at university right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So that is, so I'm on my third year, which is awesome. So haven't got
Good
too
on
much
you.
longer to go.
God, I don't know how you do it. I can't be
It's,
bothered studying. If I could
it's
read
hard.
and study, I would be a doctor. I know it. Or a
Oh,
scientist. But I can't be bothered reading. I didn't read any
well,
instructions. I'm just, no. How do we put it together?
I wanted to keep studying, but after this, I'm just like, because I've got to do like 30 to 40 hours. Sometimes it's a little bit less, but plus running a full-time business, like, a lot of my weeks are pretty much from Monday to Sunday. Like I'm always behind the computer. I'm always working. That's why I'm really bad at replying on social media. Like I just kind of do what I got to do, get off. In regards to the uni degree, like I got my sports nutrition because I wanted to be able to add the nutrition component into my business and actually be certified from it, because again, there's so many people, and I had done it, that just offer nutritional advice or give diet plans when they're not actually registered to be able to. And me becoming, I guess, a nutritionist, I just wanted that because I'm so passionate about nutrition. It improved my mental health massively. The more I've learned, the more I've applied, the more I'm learning about, I guess, how much, like, you fats, and there's so many different things that can not only enhance your brain development, your health, but also, like, obviously your physique and your performance and all that. So it's probably more so like my preferred area that I like to look into is nutrition.
Why you mentioned the word mental health, which seems to be hand in hand with bodybuilding, with the gym, health and fitness, where I think you can't be going so long with training if, I believe, there wasn't a mental health aspect to it. I think if you trained for a short time, it was basically physical. But I think when you're doing long, loving the gym, you need the gym. I've got to go to the gym. I've got to eat right. There's a mental health part to it. What do you mean mentally? Explain that a bit more.
Well, in regards to, I guess, my understanding on mental health, like, you see a lot of people, and myself including, like, struggle with anxiety. I haven't had anxiety since 17, 18. Like, it's been a long time. Obviously, I've had points where I'm anxious, but there's also a reason behind that. It might be because I've got something coming up and I'm, the unknown. But just that really, I guess, uncontrollable anxiety.
The debilitating anxiety you're talking about, yes.
Yeah. You see people, struggle with depression or many different areas, and I feel like with nutrition and training coming hand in hand, like,
I think for me, I think you're right about food. For me, I believe food is a depletion. When you don't eat well, it depletes your brain, and I think your brain needs a lot of fat, good fats, that is. And I think your brain needs to be replenished with a lot of good food. And I don't believe cereals and stuff that just doesn't have substance in it. It needs fish, or it needs avocado, or it needs something, you know what I mean? It needs nutrition. But the other thing I know, I'm not a reformed alcoholic. I've never been. The only thing I ever got addicted to be honest, I got addicted to smoking at 45 because my mouth broke, and I just had I don't give a fuck, and cigarettes were that. just like I don't smoke anymore, thankfully, but I could be a casual smoker even when I was training. Alcohol, vodka on the rocks, that's what I drink. But I actually don't drink anymore, meaning I do, but I don't drink to commiserate and I don't drink to celebrate. So even when we do a good deal with Chris, I go, should we get a coffee? Or should we get a tea? Like I don't want to. I think alcohol doesn't let you embrace any emotions, and that includes happy ones, correctly. So I think, yeah, what you're saying in relation to diet and probably alcohol as well is you just, if you're going to have victory, do it without alcohol. And if you're going to have, commiserations, do it without alcohol too. You know what I mean? Like and food, just keep eating. Just eat accordingly to win a comp, and then eat accordingly when you're not going for a comp, I guess, which helps your mental health.
Absolutely.
So tell me, I notice you're quite strong, right? And you talk about your quads, because quads are one of my favorite things, but I noticed that you squatted. Is 80 kilos a lot? 4 sets, 8 reps? Is 80 kilos a lot?
Yeah. It's
What's your best?
120. That was for 5 reps.
5 reps,
But that
120.
Yeah. I definitely, because I don't really focus on, I guess, really high strength. A lot of the times as well, like if I do really heavy compound lifts, because I have hurt my back when I was younger, not warming up properly. So now I've just got to take it really easy. I've got imbalanced hips, so I go see a chiro every week, and then I've got my sports massagist as well that I go every second week. So yeah, 80 kilos. It's not bad, but it's not the best.
Okay, it's fucking one of your posts, but anyway. But a little did I know you 120, which is it's probably more than me right now. I don't know why, and I'm not going to explain my PB because you can times that by 3. By the way, I'm just letting you know you're 120. You can times that by 3. I saw a post, and we talked about rituals and habits at the beginning. So I guess, you go to the gym, go for a walk, go for a swim, and then do my breath work. Is that what you do? Is that your thing? And you're journaling, apparently, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we kind of already spoke about that, so we don't really need to repeat it, but tell us about the 3rd of April, 2022, driving back from Tamworth, and you hit a kangaroo, man. What the fuck happened? Hitting a kangaroo is like hitting a truck.
Yeah.
I saw the damage on your car. The damage on your car was big.
It was a big fucking kangaroo. It was huge.
Was that
it was
scary?
taller than me.
Was that taller than you? Oh my God.
Yeah. It was one of the big black ones. So my dad was like, you couldn't have hit a better kangaroo. Like if you were going to hit a kangaroo, you hit the shittest one that you could have hit. Because you've got like the little brown joeys, and then not joeys, but yeah, the little brown ones, and then the black ones are the really big hard ones. But it was like 4 a.m. I was leaving Gunnedah.
4 a.m. too.
Yeah, so it was peak week the week before my competition. So it was on a Sunday, I think it was. And I was driving back from my brother's, but I originally was staying in Tamworth with my dad's, and was driving along, went over a hill, come down, and the kangaroo just like started bouncing out. And because I was already in the right lane, when I tried, so what he did is he jumped to the right and then he jumped back out. So I swerved into the left lane, and because I thought he was jumping over, because there was like a barricade in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
I thought he was jumping over that, and he just jumped straight into the side of my car. And because my dad was asleep, I was like, fucking hell, this is the last thing I want right now. But I laughed it off, drove my car to the very bottom of the hill, waited till Dad woke up, and yeah, it was all good.
Because if I'm assuming it was a back road, and I'm assuming, like every back road, you build up your speed. You weren't speeding, I'm saying. You're just going at a speed. And
It was actually
Hmm?
the main road, so it was on the highway.
On the highway. So
Going,
you can actually, yeah.
It was in the gullies, like when you're kind of coming out of Tamworth, so it's all country road. Like and that's why no one drives at dusk or dawn when you're in the country. But haven't been in the country for a long time, so like I go there, but I'm not driving on the country road all the time. So Dad said to me, next time you drive, Jess, just make sure it's not, around that time, because that's when the kangaroos are out.
Okay, well, the thing is, I know that when I've driven back from Queensland at times, that when I'm driving back from Queensland, I find that I always think to myself, at ungodly hours, I think whatever you do, never sway. Never sway. Whatever jumps in front of you, don't sway, because you'll just sway into a pole, into a tree, lose control of the car. So you really have to be careful. But sad for the kangaroo, sad for everyone. But, I mean, you did, and the kangaroo. I noticed you love posing, right? And I know, and I'll give you an example. I don't know if you know Disco Drew. I don't know if you know Disco Drew. Yeah. Because we're launching him this Wednesday. You're going to see him on our podcast, right?
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's on this Wednesday's podcast live. I mean, not live, our launch. And he spoke that he loves the art of posing. There's something about posing. He thinks there's some kind of elegant dance to it or something. I don't. Is that how you feel about it too? You love posing?
Yeah. There's definitely an art to it, and I think for me, as I was saying before, like it really brings up feminine side out for me. I used to be I used to dance when I was younger, and I stopped that when I was like, I would have been 14 going in 15.
What kind of dancer were you?
I used to do hip hop, tap, jazz, contemporary. So I used to do quite a bit, but then, obviously I didn't play any sports for a while, and then going into bodybuilding. Bodybuilding's very, it's so regimented. Your lifestyle is it can be very regimented. So really the only time that generally for myself is to get all dressed up and feel all, get that feminine and energy going is like when you go out for a drink with the girls and you have a dance, you know what I mean? So I feel like posing is like that side of me where I get to be, I feel sexy. I feel, I feel great. It makes me feel good. So there's definitely an art, and, you're showing off your physique as well. So it is it's a moment that, I guess when you're up on stage, you get to showcase not only the gym side, the physical aspect, but also like, your own personality and everything that you can kind of bring to the stage with your character, and showing that off in your posing.
Well, I saw that, but I do see it, and obviously Disco Drew just said that he loves perfecting the dance, the whole routine. He loves to get the routine perfect to flow, and I'm thinking, really? Like, I could not be bothered, but I get the love affair, and what is it about the girls doing the flick of the hair? Like, some of the girls are literally wiping out cameras. They're just kind of like at one stage, Jesus Christ, it's going to hit a boom. Boom mics are going to get hit with the hair. That's hair. What is that? That's a WBFF thing, isn't it?
It is. Oh, they've got it in other feds, but I feel
the
like
other ones. I've seen the other ones do the shoulder and the and the kind of flick the hair over the shoulder. But this one is what's going on there?
The sass. It's just bringing sass. So yeah,
I love it.
Can I just say something? I'm sure the fans will want it too. You should do a little posing thing of what you've seen so far. The sass.
Me?
Yeah.
Maybe I will. Anything to get the followers up, and then I can, because we're actually bringing a few things. We're going to, we've got a protein powder coming out in a week's
Oh,
time.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
and we're also got a clothing, an apparel line. I know it's crazy, but I mean, I'm going to ask you for a few things at the end that we want to give to people to not only advertise you through our channel, but offer something that helps them get started in the gym world. Because to get people to come to your level, meaning you can do any level, but we also need the introduction. And if you don't remember, I do, and I see it with my son. Do you know, everyone, when they first go to the gym, do a full body workout. Everyone does that. You go and you do chest, you do pull downs, like you just touch all the weights. And we're going to go through that in a second, a full body workout, because we've got to get your tip. But I want to, just before we get into the whole body, which we're going to get into, I want to talk to you about my favorite post with you, my absolute favorite. When I watch it, I get really motivated. I actually feel warm and cozy. I want to hug all the girls. I mean, that's weird of a guy wanting to hug all the girls. But then again, I do. But that's another story. And breaking up my relationship. It's probably my relationship. I don't know. When it comes to WBFF to get a new girlfriend. so
buy one protein powder and you get 20% off. Buy two protein powders and you get 30% off. And that also goes for our pre-workout, pre-3OG. This special is going to go for the whole month of August. So don't miss out. Go to 3og.shop and get your protein powder or your pre-workout now.
May 30, I think it was this year, this thing about explain primal. Now that post, you say you honestly wanted to pinch yourself every day, knowing how strong the community is becoming, empowering each other. The last 6 months, nothing but amazing, diving deep into the uncomfortable in all areas. Explain to me that, but you got no idea how much I love that post. It's like, I look at it and you girls are sitting there standing, like, I'm going to get emotional just thinking about it, but I absolutely love it. So keep going. Tell me more.
So I moved back from Newcastle to Newcastle. Sorry.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, go on.
It would have been November last year. And a lot of, like, I've got quite a good community in Newcastle. I've got girls all around Australia, but a lot of my clients are based around this area. We organised a healing workshop. So with one of the dudes that I do, mentoring with, and a lot of my clients came and we did a lot of healing work together on that day. It uncovered a lot of stuff for everybody, and it was such a beautiful day. We connected so much. Like it was phenomenal. And I guess from there, it was like having the community back within my life. Like I was in a very toxic relationship for many years, and it went on for 7 years. And I think like there was so much isolation throughout that time. I didn't have what I have now. And don't get me wrong, like I always had these people around me, but it wasn't as clear as it is now. It's like I look at my life and everything that I have around me, and it's just like, holy fuck, like how did I get here? And being able to do these things with the girls and for us all to dive deeper and being vulnerable with each other, it's just made us all so much closer and provided so much growth for us all. So as I said, like back when you were saying about the lifestyle coaching, like I treat all my clients as if we're best friends, and you know, we've got all such a tight-knitted connection. So if I can, you know, show them the way and help them and show that, you know, it's I'm doing this with you and we're all doing this together. That's where that post came from, because it's, you know, I've got girls that competed this year that said they never and could never do it, and they killed it. So yeah, there's like
it was
lots of things that
the
kind of
moving
come from
back.
that.
Yeah, it says here the plenty of memories to be made. What's 6 months left in 2023? I wrote so much about it. Look, I've got a whole bloody page. Oh, sorry, got a whole page on it. Look at it. It's scribbled up here. I was, you're playing the Veronica's song in there, and
Yeah.
it was it was amazing. I just really, yeah, I really loved looking at it, and it was just well done. I love the holding, the hugging, the dancing, the dressing up. But anyway, did you organize that? Did you organize that?
The photo shoot. The
No,
photo
well, the
shoot,
whole
or
thing.
just
Yeah, the photo shoot, like the
the
whole thing.
reels?
Like,
So the reels, yeah. So that reel was all the different clips I've had from this year, and I just like compiled it into a reel because it was all the memories, and
mm,
it did make me, even when I was making it, it made me emotional, and so many of the
mm,
girls were like, "Holy fuck!"
mm, mm.
Because yeah, I guess like I took the reel. There was a clip from the workshop that we did, and that's where us all hugging came from. There was obviously the photo shoots we've done, the competition. So we
Mm,
went to
mm,
Queensland and watched the girls compete. So quite a
mm.
few clients come up there, and there's breath work. We all went down to the
Yeah.
beach down the road from me and did breath work down there. So yeah, I just compiled everything together, and that's where that came from. But
Um,
yeah.
yeah, you're doing amazing though. I'm letting you know you're really good. I'm enjoying you. Like, sometimes you just get a flow with somebody, so I'm just letting you know I'm vibing with you, so it's all good. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so we'll get back to it. So yeah, I could watch that all the time and just look at it and go, I just want to be with those girls. I want to just sit there in the bikini and then hold each other, hug each other's hands, and lie on the grass, whatever you were doing. I don't know what's going on. It looks amazing. I'm a sucker because of my daughter as well. I just, I love being a dad with her. I'll say it. I lost my breath when she was born, and every time I see her, I lose my breath every day. She's 20 years later. I'm still trying to breathe. So I guess I
That
was
is
looking
so
at that.
gorgeous.
Yeah, I do. I can't stop breathing when I see her. I can't breathe. I always lose. I'm just going to go, before we go over the whole body, to go over some exercises for everyone. This is what it's about. And we keep that as the routine. Explain your chiro and chiro helping you, something about chiropractic. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I have been going for since I moved back from Newcastle. It's pretty much been since the start of this year. When I moved, I was going for a year before I ended up moving for 3 years to the coast. Jimmy, he's helped my imbalance. So I've got an imbalance through my hips. I've got mild scoliosis. It's not classified as actual scoliosis, but so there's a small curvature through my spine, which makes the imbalance in my hips, which also brings out an imbalance between my calves and also my glutes and my hamstrings. So, and my quads. So my whole posterior chain, and also anterior. So with working with Jimmy, it just allows me to complete my compound lifts with more balance. So if I'm not getting adjusted, I notice that not only do I get sore through my back because of previous injuries, but those imbalances become more prominent. Like you can really see, the right to left is a little bit a bit bigger, and so yeah, that's why I go there. So it doesn't get to the point where I step on stage and I'm like, fuck, you can really tell, can't you?
Well, I'll tell you, no, because I told you about me training in my 20s. I used to go to the chiro every month. I haven't been to the chiro for a while. And when I used to finish with the chiro, I felt taller. I felt like I was
Yeah.
tall. When he clicked me back, I felt my walk was better. Just everything was
Yeah.
a lot better, So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I like chiros, and they're pretty cool. They're pretty good. That's good. Tell me, also I wanted to ask about your tattoos and the fascination with your tattoo. And what's my question? Any favorite ones? Any stories? A story of one of them? What's going on with your tattoos there?
I just love tattoos, to be honest.
Yeah.
I originally, I guess they were all pretty much my favorite. I love my ankle one. So I've got my nun on my, like, it's little wings I recently just got from Bali. It's got a crown and it says nun above it. So that's probably like one of my favorites. And then on my left ankle, I've got this, like, I don't know, it's like a mandala vibe with flowers. So there, my ankles are probably my best. And then my arm, I originally wasn't going to get a sleeve. So I actually got a tattoo. I was only meant to get half my arm, so just my forearm. And then I ended up getting some dude to just finish off on the inside. And it was a different guy from who did the outside. So originally like down here. And he said he could do realism. And I was like, fuck yeah, sweet. When he started tattooing, I got halfway through and I was like, this is shit. I was not happy at all.
Wow.
So yeah, I was so pissed off, and I ended up getting that whole inside lasered off because it did not match. Like, you probably see how that's like really detailed. So
Yeah.
you'll probably be able to go through my old pictures and see, like, on the inside I used to have like this wolf and woman, and it's like, compared to what I had on the outside, it was like a 12-year-old did it. It wasn't that bad, and everyone used to say it wasn't that bad, but in my eyes it was bad. There was this big bold line in the middle of my arm, like I just hated it. So got that all lasered off. And
did you tell him to stop tattooing at one stage, or you just let it finish?
Well, he did the wolf first, and I was like, the wolf looks okay. And then when he went into the woman, I was like, it was just like really, like, it wasn't bad, but it just didn't look. It didn't look like you know, I guess the quality as what I wanted, and what I was imagining, and his work that I'd seen and what he had, you know, on his iPad thing that I was looking through. I thought that he was able to, thought he would be able to make it look, because I knew I wanted to, you know, cover my forearm, and I didn't want it to look like an artist did that, another artist did that, you know. So yeah, got it all lasered off, and then I just ended up going, fuck it, I'm gonna get my hand done, I'm gonna get my full sleeve, like just the full sleeve now, because I found a tattooist that he was, you know, exactly what I wanted, and he's just made it, I guess, what I was after. So I love my sleeve, but I guess my ankles are probably my best one. And then I've got a dragon here, which I love too, but it's pretty hardcore. It's like bikey thing.
I know, you scared me. You're basically 25% just for 24 hours. And the next day you're back to normal, aren't you? You go, look at me, I got like checked out, like how sexy and tough am I? And then the next day you go like, oh shit, I feel back to normal now. I don't know how do you put up the pain, man? I mean, I got tattoos too. I mean, you know, I'm not saying I don't have them, you know, like I just, every time I do them, I go, no wonder I'm not continually getting tattoos everywhere. I did want to get one on my hand, but we stopped. I was kind of hoping something on my hand. Maybe I might do a little bit on one of my hands. I don't know yet. Like, it depends, but there's not many people in my family that has tattoos. Just me and my uncle, actually. Just me and my uncle, and he's a maniac like me, so we get on in a way. Well, let's get into the body and training it. Now, everybody, every single person, if you do ever go into, or you have looked at our podcast, we just do the whole body from traps down to calves. If you don't train that body part, you just say, I don't train it. Many people don't train these traps. I was the only one. And last night, Chris, I did shoulders and I didn't train traps. I said, I'm not training traps. So I didn't train traps last night, right?
Nice.
And it took me forever to get back into the gym, actually. I was up at Queensland for a few days, and then I just couldn't get back in the gym. And I went back last night, which was good. And so you ready to start? Now, all I want is for you to give me an exercise and how many reps, how many sets. I'll give you an example.
Right.
if I was going to say bicep, you'd say, all right, I'd say hammer curls, dumbbells, and I'd probably say 3 sets of 10, like very basic. But some people have excited me or surprised me or can't believe that happens. So do you train traps?
Not upper traps, but in regards to training lower traps, then yes, I have. I don't now because my traps don't need work. But for programming, I do prescribe my clients trap 3 raises. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's a really good exercise. And
how many sets? How many reps?
3 by 12 to 15, or sometimes 3. Am I doing this wrong? I'm not playing it right, am I?
No. 3. No. There's no. As long as, I guess this segment is that someone has been watching the podcast. They've watched Drew. They've watched Kyle. They've watched Ryan. They've watched. Eleni's going to be on next week. Eleni's on next week, and then I think then Jess. Then Nikki, then Jess. Oh God, we've got all these people. So they're probably going to sit there and go, "What does Jess do?" And they're probably going to write little notes, which is helping. Yep. Does that make sense? So, you said lower traps. What was the exercise again?
Yeah, so trap 3 raise.
Yeah, and how many sets? How many reps?
3 by 12 to 15.
Okay,
or 18 to 20. Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, the big numbers is what makes our social media grow, because everyone argues and disputes it. I've got a post that I'm not involved in anymore, and it's about 300 deep of conversations, everyone abusing each other. They don't agree. Like one agrees, one doesn't agree. One this, one that. And it's gone that far in that, you know how many people have viewed it? 1.3 million.
Oh, that's amazing.
1.3 million have viewed it. It's gone. Me and Chris were watching it go like, Chris, it's going to hit 250,000 in the next hour. And it just, now when I see posts do 1,000, I go, oh, fuck, I need an addiction on something. Chris, what can we do? Yeah. So please say one of the reps is 100. It will help out. It will help our life. Anyway. Okay. So what about delts? So what about rear delts? What's the exercise for rear delts?
Rear delt cable pull.
Cable pull. Yep. Okay. And go ahead.
3 by 12 to 15.
All right, 3. And you're probably going to repeat yourself, but like I said, what Chris does and what we'll do is create some shorts for social media. So, in other words, even though you've said it many times, it could be one post we use for social media. Yeah?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Okay. Side delts?
Side delts would be trying to make something spicy. Let's go a 30-degree incline lateral raise. So pretty much like laying on an incline bench and raising up. So you've got a little bit more resistance there. And 3 by 10 to 12.
Right, 3 by 10 to 12. Yeah. Okay. And what about
nice and heavy?
What about front delts?
Front delts would be a supinated close grip press with dumbbells. That one's a killer.
Ooh, how many?
10 to 12. 3 sets by 10 to 12.
Okay. No, we're happy. All right, chest. Now, do you train chest? Is there an upper chest, middle chest? Give us your upper chest. Do you train upper chest?
I don't train chest at all, especially after I got my breast.
You got boob job done. Once you got a boob job done, you don't need to. Okay, well that's fair enough.
No. I do prescribe. Like for me, I don't, because it's just my chest is very dominant. But with my girls, it'll be like either an assisted tricep dip, or they'll do an incline dumbbell press.
And what would generally how many sets? Reps?
Around like 6 to 8 or 8 to 10, and that's around 3 sets.
Well, so you go heavy on that. You make them go heavy.
Yeah, especially with the tricep dip. You know, we're
Mm.
trying to really get that like body weight wise. I'm trying to work them up to be able to do it body weight.
I've heard that dip is like full chest. It really works the whole chest area, which is amazing.
Yeah, front delt
Um,
chest.
yeah. What about tricep exercise?
That one I love to do a decline French press. So like on your ab machines,
Mhm.
only a slight decline, and doing the French press on that, or you can use dumbbells and just keep your elbows in and extend out. And I find that one is a really good one. Obviously, it's for somebody that hasn't trained triceps a lot or doesn't have a lot of control to just tell them to do it on a flat bench. But if you've got a little bit more experience behind you on the decline bench, it's a killer.
Mm. That's
And
quite an old.
12 to
That's an
15.
12 to 15, 3 sets.
Yeah.
It's an old school. That's an old school type exercise. Let me tell you, it's an old school exercise. Bicep.
Decline, just a dumbbell bicep curl. So
Okay.
incline,
Sets.
incline, slight
Incline. Yeah.
incline.
Slightly incline. Yeah. I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Sets.
3 by 12 to 15.
Okay. I mean, this all sounds very basic, and I know that you go, but the thing is,
Look,
I guess, sorry.
I was going to say, I can say like 10, 12, 15 or.
Yeah. No, but what I mean is, no, why I'm saying it's very basic, because if people want more, they'll go to your social page and they'll get more. They'll ring you to get more. But we are a bit of just a landing page to journey people over to you. Like, but if we set this specific, it'll blow people out. Like, oh, but here it's like everybody's the same. Yeah. What about
Absolutely.
abs?
Abs would definitely be a Garhammer raise. So
Mhm.
incline Garhammer raise. I did them the other day. My abs are still sore. It was
How
like
does that
4
work?
days ago.
What's that exercise? Do I have to Google that one?
So Garhammer raises is pretty much like just like a leg raise, but what you're doing is like you're bringing your feet together and your legs are out. So
Yeah, go on.
I like that.
Wow. And you raise them.
Yeah, so it pretty much really overloads the lower abdomen a bit more. So obviously when you're doing here we go, it takes your hip flexors out of it. So when you're doing
That's what I
a
was
leg
going to say.
raise,
It takes the hip flexors out, doesn't it? That move.
yeah. So it's a lot more I guess.
So it's basically like that, and you're doing that. Is that right? Whoa, might try that tonight.
Yeah.
I'm doing abs tonight.
Yeah, it's good.
I had the guy.
Then
Throws with dumbbells at me and says, "Look at this bloke! Like, what the fuck?"
no, it's 2023. Come on.
Well, I'll let you know. I train, and which I love. I train at a male-only gym. It's called Hardcore in Carlton. That it's kind of for religious reasons there, which is cool. They're Muslims, but the gym is amazing. The 24/7 counter service 24/7. Get a protein shake at 2 a.m. They've got boxing upstairs. They've got cardio. Guys are doing hip thrusters. But the wonderful thing is, for me, it's just kind of like I just go in focused to train. It's kind of a bit old school, boys that feel, and I leave. And I like it. It's not about, I don't like women in a gym, but it's funny. But when I tell guys to come and train with me, a lot of guys, you'll be surprised, say this to me: "Oh, but I can't perv." And I go, "Yeah, but that's not why we're going to the gym." Sense? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
so there is a good thing about having that kind of a gym for us guys too, that want to just focus on, like, I guess Fernwood is the girls, but people question that a little bit, but that's okay. I know where they're coming from, and they're doing a very good job about it. You know, it's very clean, extremely clean. It's so clean, cleanest gym I've been at. Never broken down a piece of equipment. Really good.
Wow.
Quads, which is, Yep. What are your good
Hack
parts of your
squat.
body? You got great quads, yeah.
Definitely hack squat.
Hack squat, sets, reps,
3 by 8 to 10. Heavy. Go heavy as
8 to
well.
10. Heavy. I used to do heavy legs, but I can't do it anymore. Hammies.
Hammies, stiff leg deadlift or Romanian deadlift.
Okay. Sets, reps.
3, yeah, 8. Oh, yeah, 8 to 10. Heavy.
Okay. Calves.
I don't train them though. Would
Oh,
be
because you got good calves anyway. That's why you don't train them. Yeah.
yeah. If I train them, I will be sore for days. Then no.
So, all right, someone like me that needs them, what would you recommend?
Seated calf raise or standing calf raise machine does the job. 12 by 15, 3 reps.
Okay.
High repetition.
I'll let you know, Chris, I trained tibialis yesterday. I found a tibialis machine at our gym. So we've got a tibialis. Do you train tibialis?
No.
I know no one does, but I train tibialis. Only actually Leah, which was just one of our recent podcasts. You should watch. He's really technical, really good coach. If you, I think on episode 4, they're all great. I don't want to let go of anybody, but Liam was podcast 4. If you want to hear some great exercise tips, and talk about tibialis too. But yeah, I did train tibialis, but many don't do tibialis. Okay, let's go with it. The gluteus maximus.
Gluteus maximus.
Let's go. Hip thrusters. No,
obviously, yeah. Hip thrusts, obviously, yes. If we're looking at more so, I guess, to grow them would be a Romanian deadlift. Again,
deadlift.
Depends on what part we're talking about as well. If we're looking at the upper glute or the,
what, there's different parts of the glute?
Maxes. Yeah, well, you obviously have gluteus max, you've got med and minimus, but like when we're looking at, say, for me, I need more lower, like the lower part between my hamstrings and my glute tie-in. So RDLs are like I do them 3 times a week. Or stiff leg deadlifts and 2.
Okay, stiff leg deadlifts. Yep.
Yeah. 3 by 8 to 10 for Romanians. Hip thrust is obviously your bang for your buck, but it's hard.
Like what's that?
Glutes are hard.
To failure? Glutes are hard? I don't know. Everyone's doing them. It's like the biggest.
No, it's hard
back
to
in
just
the
one.
Back in the 90s, it just never saw. We didn't even know what a hip thrust was. No one knew what. I think even bodybuilders back then, if you saw the way they wore their, I guess, training jocks when they competed, it was always tucked around their ass. It wasn't really such a G-string type. Even the girls, I think, when they were on stage, it wasn't the top of a tie. Now the gluteus is a big part of everything.
I was actually talking to a client about this. A hot tip. In 2010, the hip thrust was invented. So that's why so many people have amazing glutes, because Brett Contreras, he is the glute guy. He's a glute king. He's the one that he's a PhD. He's got a PhD and he's like massive on glutes. And he invented the hip thrust. So there's a little bit of a fact for you, but that's why everyone now has amazing glutes, because back then it was all about squats and deadlifts and no activation work to activate your glutes.
Oh, so it's not Kim Kardashian.
No, we don't all have BBLs now.
Oh, bloody BBLs. I heard about that too. My God, what the hell? So tell us where we can find you on socials, website, in person, any sponsors you want to mention. I noticed you did something with Primabolics Nutrition or something like that. So go for it. Yeah. Tell us, where can we find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, Jess Bennic, my business page for Primal Performance, where you can find me to contact me about coaching, or on my personal page, it's primal_performance. My website is www.primalperformance.fit. So if you want to find out more about me and my story, you can, go onto there and have a look, and my coaching services. My inboxes are always open, so you can always contact me, whether it's about, your goals, or if you just need a bit of help with training or your nutrition. My sponsors, so Primabolics is a supplement company, and I'm a massive fan of their products. So they, so yeah, I am with them. Creative Bikinis is my sponsorship for my bikini wear that I'll be on stage this year. So you've got a discount code there, which is Primal 10. So if you want a discount on your bikini, jump on there.
Chris, if you want a discount on the bikini, Primal 10, mate. Chris loves a good bikini. Just got to get him to wax or shave. Then we're good. Do you shave your legs, Chris? Do you shave your legs?
I have shaved them once.
Once he's shaved them, yeah.
I
refuse to shave my legs, by the way. I've waxed them, I've lasered them. I feel like I've been violated by lasering, by the way, but that's another story.
Oh, yeah.
They go with lasers. It's incredible, mate. Oh, Jesus Christ. But
yeah,
I just say thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing, and you're amazing. And we look forward to watching you be the champ.
Thank you so much. It was really good being on here. It was really good chat.
Thank you. It was a good chat. Cheers.